Boo, asshole, guess who it is? It's me. I was bored, and I have this haircut now, so I figured I'd make a video. Got this haircut on my birthday. It's been about 11 days. Somewhere around there. Almost 2 weeks. I didn't put milk in this yet, so you'll still get the pleasure of watching me make tea. How do you like it, by the way? My hair's a lot shorter now. Milk time. So yeah, I'm just making this video because I was bored. It's currently 1:14, and it is storming out. A lot of rain. I'm expecting thunder, because it was thundering last time it stormed out here. It got real bad, and then subsequently stopped after a couple hours, and it was bright and sunny again. I also made a burrito. It's in the microwave. By the way, if you ever get, like, microwavable burritos, don't get... I don't care if they sue me over slander or some bullshit. Casa Mamita. These are the only ones that we really have, so I'm still going to eat them because they taste good. But every time you cook them, this happens. I don't know if you can fully accurately see that. They fucking explode. They rip open, and as far as I can tell, there is no way to actually stop this from happening. I've tried flipping it every 30 seconds for 1:30. I've tried putting it in all at once. I've tried switching sides when I make it. Doesn't work. And unless you want to be here for an hour, don't even think about making one of these in the toaster oven. This is bean and cheese, by the way. Not necessarily, I prefer beef and cheese. But beans are good, I guess. It's really bland, though. A lot of these videos... Remember when I used to make gaming videos? Now it's just me talking bullshit into a camera in my kitchen for God knows how long these videos will last sometimes. Sometimes I post gaming. I posted that Code Vein video a while back. If I had a PC, I would record on PC. Because that would be a lot easier, but my PC died like 4 years ago. So, now I just gotta deal with it. I miss a lot of games. I had Starbound and Besiege. Those games aren't on Xbox. Starbound could definitely be on Xbox though, so I don't know why it isn't. It's not even like it's that big. It could probably run really fucking well. Chucklefish, whoever makes Starbound. I know Chucklefish is involved in some way, I think. Get on that. Make a Starbound Xbox port. It's on PlayStation 2, I don't know. 2 as in TOO, don't put it on PlayStation 2. People still own those, but I don't think anyone's making new games for it. Well, not ones that aren't bootleg anyway. So how your life has been? Are you all hanging in there like the Last of Us? That's a good segue right there, isn't it, to what I'm about to talk about. Last of Us 2's ending, huh? So spoiler warning for the rest of this video, because it's probably going to be all I talk about. Some people like it, but most people didn't. Because the message is so flat that it makes A cups look like G cups. It practically makes me look like I got double D's. Because, you know, I ain't even got tits, I'm a dude. Is that too hard to tell that I'm a guy? Do I look too womanly? Anyway. Sorry that I paused during talking a lot, but I'm eating a burrito. That bite is mostly bread. I regret that bite. It's just all tortilla in there. With a little bit of bean. All tortilla. Just hot. Yep, it's hot. Yes, I did dip my finger in my tea to test it. I was right, it's hot. I'll take the spoon out of it. Go on that plate. But if you don't know the ending of Last of Us 2, then don't watch the rest of this video. Or, I don't know, skip ahead to hear me not talking about it, which would be the end of this video. But, I've been watching Jacksepticeye play through it, and he got to the end. And I was sitting there like, wow, that was... I've watched it before his playthrough, just for, like, clarity on what was going to happen, because it's story-driven, so the ending won't change. But in case you don't know, the entire message of the game is that revenge is bad. Don't get revenge. Despite the fact that the entire game starts off of Abby getting revenge, and then Ellie wants revenge on Abby. When you think about it, this entire game is Abby's fault, which makes it so you can hate Abby even more than you already probably did. But they pull so many odd punches, like making you play as Abby for 10 hours, and then they kill Manny and Jesse, and then they forget about them like that. They just forget about them. No one ever mentions them again. Dina doesn't even mention Jesse again until, like, the full-on, like, end of the game. After he gets domed in the fucking brain hole. Which I guess isn't too far off, but there's a giant Abby sequence between that point. Which I just mentioned. But it's like, they try and make you feel for Abby. It's like, oh, but look what happened to her. Her father got fucking doinked by Joel in the first game. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, but I don't care. She killed Joel. You're trying to make me feel for her? I don't give a fuck. My boy Troy Baker voiced that dude. I love Troy Baker. Nolan North, Troy Baker, and Tara Strong are like the 3 best voice actors. Let's be honest here. But at the end of the game, they just kind of... They get into a very brutal brawl, Abby and Ellie. Abby's been captured by some group called the Rattlers, who are very inconsequential until the end of the game when they kidnap Abby. But then Ellie frees them, Abby and Lev, and then goes to beat the shit out of Abby, and then beats the shit out of Abby, and she's got her by the neck. She's holding her under. She's got her under the water. She's ready to finish the job, and then she doesn't, because she remembers Joel. Which, if you remember Joel from the first game, if Abby had killed Ellie, Joel would have drowned that bitch right then and there. Remember that part of the first game where Joel beat a man's friend to death with a pipe? So his friend would fucking... So the dude would tell him where Ellie was. And then upon telling him where Ellie was, just after saying he was going to let him go, he just straight up snapped his fucking neck. Remember that? Joel got the job done. He wasn't a good person, but nobody's a good person. It's the apocalypse, come on. And to put this in perspective, for Abby, in order to get revenge, she would have had to walk, because from Seattle, Washington, to Jackson, Wyoming, it is 861 miles. So maybe she took a car trip somewhere along that, or had a horse, but if she walked the whole ass way, bit of a long way to kill the guy who killed your dad. But the worst part is, Joel saves her life at the start of the game, and then instead of Joel being skeptic, and Tommy being skeptic, because that was their entire character in the first game, them being skeptic. In the first game, Joel literally fucking runs a dude over because he can sense this dude isn't hurt and it's an ambush. And then guess what? It's a fucking ambush. And Abby doesn't even take into account that Joel just saved her fucking life like it was nothing. She's just like, oh, well, that's the dude who killed my dad. I'm gonna beat him to death with a golf club and not feel anything afterwards. But oh, we let Ellie and Tommy live, and I'm just sitting here like, why did you let them live? You knew this was gonna happen. You killed Tommy's brother and Ellie's dad, essentially. You think they weren't gonna come after you? You walked 861 miles to kill him. What makes you think they're not gonna walk 860 miles to kill you? What a stupid plan. I get it, like, they killed your pops lady, but you know, fucking... don't gotta walk 861 miles. They do Joel so dirty. And the trailers lied, making it seem like he was gonna be in more of the game. Joel dies in, like, the first fucking hour. And then they just pull punches of, look, here's Joel in a flashback sequence. Remember when Joel and Ellie were fucking friends? Well, guess what? Now Ellie hates Joel because she finds out that Joel was keeping shit from her. The whole end of the first game. Speaking of the end of the first game, remember when Joel was like, nah, you'll just come after her and doinked Marlene in the fucking face? Remember that? But anyway, Joel gets shafted so hard, he gets tortured to death with a golf club. And, like, you get a little flashback sequence which, like, insinuates that Ellie was like, still trying to forgive Joel, but Joel probably died thinking Ellie hated him. And then on top of that, Ellie finally gets to Abby, and after this brutal fight, she's holding her under the water, and then after remembering Joel, she just lets her go. Why? You've already... you were talking about killing her this whole time. You went here to kill her, and instead you fucking freed her? What was that? I get that the message is revenge is bad, but revenge is a dish best eaten, my friend. If you watch videos in the comments, you see a lot of people quoting Arthur Morgan, you know, revenge is a fool's game. But if you remember the end of the second game, you know, playing as Jim Milton, retrospect, and climbing a mountain to shoot Micah in the face. Remember when you did that? Which I guess could lead into the whole, well, because he did that, they figured out that John was still active, and then they came after him. But John didn't really have to die. That wasn't because of revenge, that was just the government screwing him over. Essentially. The government could have just kept their word and been like, yeah, we'll leave you be, you did what we asked of you, but no, they show up to the military and fucking gun down Marston. But anyway. I get that revenge is bad, but revenge is bad is such a fucking poor message. It's so flat and stale. They could have made the game about Ellie and Joel again, or... I mean, Joel could have still died, but the game could have entirely been about forgiveness or some shit, you know? Or it could have been about Ellie and Joel, where they get separated from Jackson or some shit. Where Jackson gets raided and destroyed, and Ellie is now stuck with Joel, the guy who made it so her life didn't really matter. And then they go on an adventure, and Ellie slowly learns how to forgive Joel. That would have been like a neat little story, wouldn't it? I'm just sort of spitballing here. But after all this, she lets Abby go. But if they try and sort of portray Ellie as the bad guy, because it's like, wow, look at all these people you killed to get here, and it's like, yeah, so did fucking Abby. People, I see in the comments a lot of videos where they're talking about Ellie is really the bad guy here because she slaughters so many people in order to get to Abby. Abby does the same thing. In fact, after Abby meets Lev and Yara, Lev goes off, because Lev is trans, by the way. I should probably mention that so it makes sense. In their cult thing, the ladies are not allowed to shave their heads, because that would mean that they're like the men, and that's not allowed. So they'll kill you for that. So Lev goes back to talk to their mother. Lev accidentally kills their mom. Big oof. And then they go outside. And Yara gets fucking... After losing an arm, she just gets straight shot the fuck up. And then the game forgets about her. Like they do with most of the characters that die. And then on top of that, the WLF, the people that Abby was a part of, they're showing up because they're raiding the island that, what the fuck are they called? Seraphites? Scars is what they call them in the WLF. The Scars are there, that's their home island, and then the WLF show up to raid them. And then Isaac shows up, which is the leader of the WLF, and he sees Abby helping Lev, who is an ex-Scar. And Isaac is about to doink Abby. And then Yara shoots Isaac, and then just fucking Abby starts gunning down and slaughtering her own people she used to call friend. She just starts killing people from the WLF like it's nothing. All for some kid she's known 3 days. But go ahead and tell me how she's changed. She really changes when she's about to slit Dina's throat after learning she's pregnant, only stopping because Lev intervenes. After doinking Tommy and Jesse in the dome. She's a fucking terrible person and a sociopath. Tea leaking down my face. It's really stupid. And no, I haven't played the game. Because I don't own a PS5 or PS4. And before people in the comments that don't exist, because I have like 16 subscribers that don't care either way, come at me and say, you know, dumb bullshit like, oh, you wouldn't know then, you haven't played the game, play it for yourself or make your own opinions. You don't have to fucking play the game. It's story driven. No matter how I play the game or what I do, the game will play out the same way as if Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie played it. It'll play out the same way no matter what, so I can get a grip on the story just by watching the fucking thing. We're not playing fucking choose your own adventure game here, you know? It's not like Walking Dead, where you have choices and those choices could somewhat affect the story and who lives and who dies and who ends up with you at the end of the game, though it does always usually end up the same way. But in season 2 of Walking Dead, they gave you multiple endings. You know, you could go with Jane, you could go alone, you could go with Kenny. But it's not like that. It's not, I go through the game and I could end up picking my own options based on my observations. It's no matter what I do, this will end up the same way. It's narrative driven. So, you know, there's that. So no, you don't have to play the game to get a grip on it. I do think you should play it if you want to leave a review. Because you'd be qualified to leave a review. That's why you shouldn't trust Metacritic, by the way, or Rotten Tomatoes. Because they'll allow people to review a thing without actually owning said thing. Which is why you should probably just stick to Steam reviews or Xbox or PlayStation reviews. Though PlayStation, they hire folks to make fake reviews. There were like 7,000 reviews on The Last of Us 2 before the game even fucking came out. Don't tell nobody I told that to you, though. But, it's so dumb. It's really dumb. It's not satisfying at all. Like I said, revenge is the dish best eaten, which is also a Red Dead 2 reference. It's the name of one of the missions. But it's like, wouldn't it have been better if... Wouldn't it have been more satisfying if she killed Abby? Or wouldn't it have been, you know... Why didn't they pull a telltale? Why didn't they give you an option? Be like, keep pressing square to drown Abby, or press circle to let her go. And then you do what Telltale does. You put a little bar at the end, and it's like, this is how many people killed Abby, this is how many people spared her. And then based on that, you could see if people would feel shit about themselves. Oh, by the way, the game constantly tries to make you feel bad for shit that you were forced into doing. Abby has a dog named Alice. She's a German Shepherd. She's a cutie. And you're forced to murder Alice. You have to kill Alice, despite the fact that in the interviews, they said they wouldn't make you kill any dogs because they're fucking liars. They make you kill Alice, and then they attempt to make you feel bad for it by having you play fetch with Alice later on in Abby's section. And it's like, you had to do that to make me feel bad? I already felt bad about killing the dog. Now you're just trying to hit the nail. You're just trying to hit the hammer on the nail, man. Like, you're not going to push it any further. Like, that's just uncool at this point. Don't force me to... It's like if someone forced you to kill your friend, and then was like, yeah, look what you did. It's like, I didn't do that, you made me do that. I'll still feel guilty about it, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that you forced me into doing it. You stab a pregnant woman in the neck as Ellie, you shoot like Abby's best friend as Ellie, you beat a lady to death with a pipe as Ellie, and you can tell that after all of this, Ellie feels bad. She shakes, she vomits, shit like that. You can tell she feels actual remorse for her actions, but then they try and demonize her for shit like this. Well, Abby does like... She shoots Jesse in the face, and shoots Tommy in the back of the head, who, at the point when she shoots him, has an arrow in his leg. Lev shoots him in the leg with an arrow, so he can't do much. She shoots an unarmed, injured man. And then feels nothing about it. And then, fun fact about that same section, you're forced to beat the shit out of Ellie as Abby. What? It's ridiculous. They shaft Ellie so hard. It feels like Ellie loses everything, while Abby gains everything. She gets friends. She leaves the WLF. She gets to be happy, while Ellie gets 2 of her fingers bitten off. Her waifu Dina and their son fucking just are vanished at the end of the game. They're not waiting at the house that Dina and Ellie had together. And Ellie can no longer play guitar because she's missing 2 fingers. They completely fuck over Ellie, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, this video is running on pretty long. If you watched all the way through, then congratulations, you heard what I had to say about Last of Us 2. I'm sorry if I repeated points and shit like that. Sometimes I just get on a trail and I forget about the other trail I was already on. But that's it. I've finished my tea. I've had my burrito. I'm gonna go play Division 2, I guess. I've been playing Division 2 lately. If you have Division 2, play it. I guess it's a good game. I like it. Better than the First Division. I had fun with that game. I know a lot of people didn't like the First Division because it was kind of a buggy mess at launch. But yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say today. I was bored. Wanted to make a video. And peace.